Alright, so this is a little bit different than something I normally do, where I just kind of post shorts, hoping they get views, or post Hivemind bits, hoping they get views. Today I'm going to kind of do a beat breakdown of something I posted on my shorts feed. It was a like Juice World, Josh A, Jake Hill type thing, I think is what I put in the title. It doesn't really fit those artists, but I they're the first to come to mind. I know I have inspirations from a lot of other artists like 50 Landing and Breakins and Aries and Eden, all those. So I know that my guitar isn't going to sound exactly how they would do it, and the beat as well. But I'm going to kind of break down how this goes. So step one, I just kind of recorded two different guitar takes. I did one panned left and panned right. I think it was either 150 or 75. I pan them pretty hard, so it gives that really big stereo effect. So here's the one to the left, and then to the right, and when you put them together, kind of, stereo effect. And then on top of that, I added these little licks, these little guitar licks that I did, drenched them in reverbs and effects, and then kind of clipped them. So here's what they sound like alone. And then I added the riser one because I really like it, and then all together the melody sounds like this. And then, obviously, the next step had to be, I keep unsoloing these tracks, I'm sorry. The next step was obviously the 808s, which I just kind of did the bass notes, pretty basic, and then I added one little crazy note at the end. And then I got this one here. So on top of that, obviously, I added a kick to match. And then I added two rim shots layered, and it kind of like filled them out a little bit because the one at a time they sounded kind of thin, so I put two together and they sound like this. So I was fond of that. And then I added this hi-hat. It's not as complex as it looks. It's really just some rolls here and there, and then I added this down here, which is just kind of a lower panned hi-hat of the same sample. I just pitched it down, and then over here I have some, like, it goes a little bit higher. You can barely notice it, but it just kind of gives it a nice sound. So here's what that sounds like. So that's what that sounds like. And then I added an open hat because it sounds nice, and an off snare, so it kind of gives it that like really bouncy feeling. So here's what that sounds like. And then I added something that I highly recommend you add in your beats. I know it's a little past being a professional tutorial, and you're like, why am I going to take freaking advice from this guy? But I strongly recommend this. This is just a random little sound. It's just a little, it's not much, but it's going to add so much to your overall beat, just because what it ends up being is just one little unique thing that a listener can be like, oh, what was that? That was cool. Even if they don't notice it, the producers will notice it. So all together, here's what that sounds like. So that was kind of the chorus section, and then on top of that I added a kind of section of just chords that I played, and I screwed up a lot on this, and I still was able to use it, and it still sounds good. So what ended up happening here is I had this one note go a little bit too long, so I had to kind of, fade these ones out, and then this just did not sound right at all, even though it's just a loop. It didn't sound very well done, so I just kind of chopped it and did some weird stuff to it to kind of try and save it, and for some reason it ended up sounding good enough to save. So here's what that sounds like. And then here comes that weird part. And then it goes back into another section of this, and I actually added a clap for variation here. Here's a little weird part I was talking about. I'm not sure if I covered it with my voice. And then the clap that I added because it sounds trappy. I don't know, it was a nice variation. Other than that, it just kind of repeats itself and then fades out at the end. So that's pretty much it. I have the filter on the guitar kind of automating here and there. I don't think I did much with the effects on the guitar, just a bunch of EQs and reverbs. Yeah, just some guitar rig for an amp or whatever. This is the one that I added a bunch of extra effects to left and right, and then I have the 808s, which I took Infiltrator off of because I think I just made some. Let's hear what this sounds like. Come on, you guys have made it this far. You can hear my family screaming and having fun in the background. You deserve to hear what this sounds like. Please cover your ears. 3, 2, 1. Oh shit, that is crazy, bro. My voice is super loud. I can't even post this to the internet, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah, so that's why we make sure that our infiltrator is not turned on. If we were fucking around with something, we leave that off because that was wild. But anyways, yeah, that's how I made the beat. If you stayed this long, I love you, appreciate you, you're awesome. You should go check out that Sayonara remix on my shorts feed. I want that one to blow up. I don't know why. Like, I post one like lowest effort and it's like 1,000 views within the first 30 minutes and then nothing. Like, the YouTube algorithm is like, yeah, give it to them. And then like I post something that I genuinely put work in. Like, I really edited in, like, tried to use Windows Editor to try to really get something cool going for my Sayonara short, and it really did not take off like whatsoever, or it hasn't so far. At least maybe it will by the time this comes out. I'm recording it the same day. But yeah, check that one out. I really want to do a beat breakdown of that one and make it really professional, because this is just me rambling while loosely explaining how I made a beat, not even really though. So yeah, check that one out. Thanks for saying this song. That's pretty much all I got.